Purpose of this screencast is to go over a presentation on the Unit 7 words, and the theme that's tying all these words together is lowering. I'm on the website now. You can see lowering over here. And here are the words itself, so when you're doing or making your note cards, you can come to this website. It can help you out. During the presentation today, you will be using a whiteboard, a pen, and an eraser. Pause now and collect those items. So each student has a pen, whiteboard, and eraser. You will be responding to several questions throughout this presentation. You've done this before. Usually it's done with me in the room, but you'll be able to do it now by pausing the video several times each time a question is answered. You'll be able to put your response on the whiteboard, and then I want you, like we usually do, to hold up your whiteboard and show your thinking to your classmates. And the teacher in the room might ask you to share some of your thinking. So, this is the presentation. It's called lowering. We can see these people are lowering a basket with supplies in front of a rock face. This is the down button of an elevator, so lowering the elevator. The big question is what affixes are added to a word to show that it is being lowered in number, size, height, or intensity? You will know those affixes by the end of this presentation. So featured prefixes. There are 2 of them, just like there are for most units. First, I want to look at the picture. We have stairs going downstairs. We also have a cat under a chair. So those might have something to do with our prefixes. What is a prefix? Write down your answer on the whiteboard. You can pause now and then show your work to your classmates. And then resume the recording when everybody's shown their work. What does the prefix D mean? Take a guess. What does D mean? Write it down on your whiteboard. Pause the video. Share your responses. D means down. So it has something to do with this image, going downstairs. What does the prefix sub mean? Pause now and write it on your whiteboard. Share your responses. Sub means under or below. You will be responsible for knowing the meanings of D and sub on the upcoming test. I have an image here that shows subtraction. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 butterflies. You subtract 3 butterflies, you get 6. I also have a picture of the old Metrodome, which was there before US Bank Stadium, and it was destroyed. So we'll see what those have to do with our featured prefixes and words. So the idea of lowering is common to both of these prefixes. So both sub and D have something to do with lowering. To subtract is to make an amount of something lower, like the picture of butterflies here. 9 butterflies, remove 3, you have 6. To destroy something is to make it topple over or to lower. The Metrodome was destroyed before US Bank was built. It was brought down or lowered. Okay, we have a picture of the Supremes who sang a song called Stop in the Name of Love. Chris Carter doing a one-handed catch. He was the master of stretching the sidelines. And then we got a tree falling on top of somebody's home. Ouch. So, familiar words for practice only. You will not need to know these words on the test. They're just words you are familiar with. Say them after me. Decline, defeat, destructive. Which familiar word makes you think of turning down an invitation? Look up here at the 3 familiar words. Write it down on your whiteboard. Pause the movie now and share what you wrote on your whiteboards. Maybe you have heard the expression, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Why is defeat agony? And this is when the Vikings were playing the Atlanta Falcons in 1998. I watched that game, and the Vikings did not win in the NFC Championship. So, why is defeat agony? Pause the video, write your answer on your whiteboard. What do destructive storms do to trees? Again, look at your 3 words up here. Which word applies? Or which word, what will help you know what destructive, what do they do to trees? So, pause and write on your whiteboard your response. Okay, so which familiar word makes you think of turning down an invitation? Well, that's decline. So that's like stop in the name of love. And the 3 women singing the song put their hands out, stop. And they're declining somebody's advance. And then you have, maybe you have heard the expression, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Why is defeat agony? Well, because you lost. This loss in 1998 to the Falcons was agonizing. It was painful because the Vikings had such a good chance to win. So that's why defeat is agonizing. And then what do destructive storms do to trees? Well, they're destructive, so they bring them down, or they lower them. In this case, it was lowered on top of the house. All right, featured roots. We have a train here, a submarine, and then a subtraction problem. So we got some familiar words for practice only. You don't need to know these for the test, but we have submarine. Say it after me, submarine, subtract, subtraction, subway. Now look at the images and see which ones match with each word. What is the location of a subway train? Write it on your whiteboard, pause, and share. Yes, a subway train is located underground. How is a submarine different from other ships? Write down your answer on your whiteboard and pause and share. A submarine is underwater or below water. When setting up a subtraction problem, where do you put the number you are subtracting? In other words, the number you are removing or lowering in number. Pause, write down your answer. The number you are subtracting goes on the bottom. So you have 50 of something and you are subtracting 30 from it, would give you the answer of 20. All right, key words. Please say these after me so you can hear how they are pronounced. First of all, know that you will know the definition, the spelling, and how to use the words in a sentence for these following words. So the first word is, and say it after me, decrease, dejected, demote, denominator, descend, subdue, subheading, submerge, subside, subsistence. When it is all said and done, you will be able to spell these words and use them in sentences and know their definitions. Next are our challenge words. Again, you will know the definition, spelling, and how to use these in a sentence. Say them after me. Delete, delinquent, demolish, deplete, detach, sublimate, subservient, subvert. Okay, next I want to show you a trick. A lot of times on our tests, you have to fill in the blank. So most words that we deal with are nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Some words, but not many, will be adverbs. Now, you haven't learned about adverbs yet, but you know what nouns, verbs, and adjectives are already. The part of speech can help you write a sentence and fill in the blank with words. So a lot of times on the test, you are asked to fill in a blank with a word. And if you're stuck, you can use a trick by seeing what part of speech works. For example, the Vikings will blank the Packers 2 times next year. Well, I see it's will lose, will win against, will cremate, will destroy, will demolish. I'm using verbs to fill in the blank. And I know that a verb always follows the word will. So if I have a list of a word bank, I can look for other verbs if I'm stuck to fill this blank. If I don't know what should go there, I know it has to be a verb. So I'd ask myself, what are the verbs? In this case, demolish, which is a verb. So if we look at the definition of demolish, it is a verb. So that's why it goes with the word will. And you'll notice other verbs: will jump, will dance, will sing. Okay, the blank in the textbook says English colonies. Now I have the word the here. Remember, the and come before, everybody should be saying it, nouns. So whenever you have a the and an usually it's followed by a noun. So if I'm looking at my word bank, I'm going to find nouns if I'm stuck. In this case, a subheading or the subheading. And if I look at the definition of subheading, it is a noun. So this is a trick if you are stuck when you're filling in the blank on tests. All right, the video is about to end. Before it ends, or when it ends, make sure you put all the whiteboards back, the pens are capped and put back into the cups, and the whiteboard erasers are put back into the bucket. Thank you.